Hi, dear friends and subscribers. First of all, I'm extremely sorry that anyone who is actually hooked on to my cricket show, Cricket Happenings, uh, would have not seen me yesterday. Yes, I had some other commitments, and that's the reason I could not even talk to you. But I'm out here again talking to you all this on a Sunday on the Cricket Happening show. And I mean, I'm going to today. What I have is I'll talk about a bit of Major League Cricket. There's one particular match is going to happen in the United States, the MLC. The inaugural MLC is going on beautifully with lots of excitement and the crowds, coming in. It's very good to see that the United States of America is really, really promoting cricket a big way, and the inaugural T20 league has definitely started off with a real bang, no doubt about it. And it's only getting much interesting with the commentators there like Pommy Bangwa, Danny Morrison, Sunil Gavaskar, and all other fellow commentators also doing the commentary. It's really good to hear that. And so the MLC is in full swing, and this is a sort of a real sort of base that United States is setting up to bring cricket, get into international cricket in a big manner, and they're doing very well. It's really some nice matches being played there. We'll have a look at that. We'll have a brief look at that. But the other things that I have for you on this particular cricket show it's going to be a small talk for India having a very uh, starting off with a win over West Indies in the first Test match at Dominica, and Jaiswal was the definitely the hero there on his maiden ton. Getting a maiden Test ton on debut was something splendid, according to me, and he has definitely reposed the selector's faith. In fact, I was also one who believed that even though he showed the temperament, I thought SSP Jaiswal should be more into T20 and ODI cricket rather than Test matches right now. But I have to say, SSP Jaiswal has definitely proved me wrong. He has shown the right match temperament, and he came there and he has really gone in a blaze of glory in the first Test, taking the man of the match award on his. I mean, what a proud moment for him. A maiden ton on debut, taking the man of the match on his debut. Oh my word, that's a great feeling. SSV Jaiswal, and definitely his career is absolutely fast forwarded in international cricket, no doubt about it. And Ravichandran Ashwin, with his experience, picking up that 7 wickets in the second innings against the West Indies. We'll talk about that. And today we had the first Test match, the first day of the first Test match between Pakistan and Sri Lanka, starting in Sri Lanka. And definitely the Gaul pitch normally does not give much to the pace bowlers. It definitely gave a semblance of assistance, and we saw the ball seaming and swinging, and Shine Shah Afridi and Naseem Shah were operating at either end. And finally, it was Shine Shah who dealt them some huge blows, early huge blows. After that, a recovery stage by Dhananjaya, who was 94 not out at the end, with getting company from Angelo Matthews, who made 64, and they recovered to 242 for 6 at close of play. So honors could be even, one could call. And also Bangladesh completing the T20 series versus Afghanistan, winning the final match, and Bangladesh taking the T20 series. So I'm going to talk a bit about everything, and we will talk about it. So first, let me get into the major league cricket, which is the talking point nowadays. As far as I mean, it is not the real talking point, but definitely, we want more and more countries to really embrace cricket. So definitely, United States is someone who is definitely taken the first step there. And this, I'm just generally going to talk about one particular match, which was the fourth match played at the Grand Prairie Stadium in Major League Cricket. The match was between Seattle Orcas were taking on the San Francisco Unicorns. And Seattle Hawks batted first and raised 177 for four. And if you look at the card there, Noman Anwar making 30 of 21. Shahan Jayasuriya looked good with 33 of 27. Klaasen was the man of the match, 53 of 31, four fours and three sixes. Hetmeyer 36 of 30. And they can have six imports in the team, so that really makes it much challenging for both the sides. The local talent, I'm sure, it's not much that they could incorporate into the team, and that's the precise reason the MLC has been given a sort of leeway to include six imports, which it's further going to be much reduced in T20 leagues all across the world as well. Now let's look at the bowling. You look at the bowling. Harris Raw 1 for 42, 2 for 36 for Liam Plunkett. Good to see Liam Plunkett there. He was the former English bowler. Liam Plunkett once upon a time was playing as an all-rounder. 2 for 36 for him. Shadab Khan, none for 21 of 2. And Anderson, 1 for 19. The other day, we saw Curry Anderson play a superb knock there. And 177 for 4 was considered to be a good score. And that it definitely proved it to be. As San Francisco Unicorns were bowled out for 142. And here, the handiwork was done by Cameron Gannon, who picked up 3.5 overs, no made, and 23 runs. So he picked up 4 wickets for 23 runs. A good effort from Cameron Gannon, supported by Imad Bazim, 2 for 24, 1 for 15, Harmeet Singh, and 2 for 27 for Andrew Ty. Looking at the batting there, they got off to a brilliant start with two attacking batsmen in the middle, the opening batsman Matthew Wade and Finn Allen. Matthew Wade crashing 28 of 16 deliveries, 4 fours and 1 6, and Finn Allen also making 28, but he made it in lesser number of balls than Matthew Wade. 28 of 10 balls, 4 fours and 2 sixes, and they were really going like a train in 3.2 overs, and that was the time when the first wicket fell, when Finn Allen got himself run out by Shahan Jayasuriya. Marcus Stoinis 15, 14 to Aaron Finch. And so the top, Marcus Stoinis, Aaron Finch, and Corey Anderson, these three wickets falling cheaply did not help matters either. And then it was pretty tough going with Shadab Khan, as usual, is showing his consistency, making 37 of bashing 27 of 23, 2 fours and 2. But other than that, there was not much with the local, players playing, and then it was all over. 142 all out, and the Seattle Orcas won the match by 35 runs. Right now, when I'm talking, I do see that there is one particular match which is going on. It's a live match. I'm trying to get there. Yes, it's a Grand Prairie. I'm going to take you there live right now just to give you a live update of a match which is happening between Washington Freedom and Texas Super Kings. And the score right now, I can tell you, is that 3.1 overs and 30 runs on the board. And they have already lost one wicket. Hendricks Gause was bowled by Kwesi, the South African fast bowler, for 7. And in fact, there is one more wicket which has just fallen. Let me just, I have a feeling there's one more wicket. So I'm just trying to see right now. There is Matthew Short at the crease. And I think Andrew Gose is just gone right now. So the score is a 30 for 1, and one is waiting to see that who is actually going to join Matthew Short in the middle. Well, we'll come back. We'll revisit that later. So that's right now the score. Washington Freedom is taking on the Texas Super Kings. Let me see whether the Washington yes, I think the Washington Freedom are playing their first game. I reckon. No, sorry, they are playing their second game in this MLC. And it is Gerard Quincy has got a wicket with his very first delivery that he has bowled. So that's a great moment for Gerard Quincy that he picked up the wicket of the very first ball that he bowled to Gauss. Still waiting to see who is going to join Matthew Short. In the meanwhile, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just talk to you about the match between India and West Indies. So, what a wonderful debut for SSV Jaiswal. I mean, West Indies, I have to say, they definitely didn't have any answers to India. Basically, whether it's the space or basically the spinners, Ravindra Jadeja and Ashwin actually taking the honors with I think it's a 10 wicket bag that he took. in that particular match, and also Jadeja also doing very well. And Ashwin, as you know, is a very very thinking bowler, and he showed what he could. It slowed down the pace, sometimes bowling quicker deliveries, sometimes going with the angle. So he's a much thinking bowler. He has a lot of cricketing intelligence, according to me. Ravichandran Ashwin, he did a good job. Let's talk about SSV Jaiswal. What a fantastic test debut for SSV Jaiswal. A maiden ton on his test debut. A player of the match on his test debut. Breaking a few records on the way, and going on to make 171 runs before he was out. Probably was eyeing a double century. It was not to be. He was out for 171. So, and we saw that he definitely showed all the makings of a test player. Bided his time at the crease, which was good. Did not, if initially you saw, he did not try to go for the strokes. He decided to bide the time at the crease, took his own time, and when he then started stroking with lots of freedom. He was troubled by Rakim Cornwall, but I thought West Indies were a bit unlucky there with Rakim Cornwall. He had a chest infection. He had to go back. Could not bowl later. So that really but that's very very less to. It's not only the point that you look into, but it was all about the application from the West Indian batsmen. They were forced into indiscretion by the Indian bowlers. Yes, there was a few good deliveries because the ball was turning and bouncing, and that really helped. And that's the reason Rakim Cornwall was doing well with his height. He was generating that bounce, and that made it very difficult for the batsman, but not as difficult as what Ashwin made it for the batsman. But one thing that I have to say is that um, basically, the West Indian batsmen have shown lack of application. There were a lot of shots which was played, which probably should have not been played. And one would have heard with Brathwaite saying that probably they should have gone more on the front foot rather than play on the back foot. So that is also another good point, according to me. And I think they really, really have to work hard. As I said, they had absolutely no answer to India. And let us also talk about one positive for the West Indies. It was Alec Athanaze who was given his debut. My word, this bloke Alec Athanaze is looking like a real classic player, according to me. Really eases into his strokes, plays with refreshing freedom, and it was very nice to watch him. He was the sole positive for the West Indies. And Rakim Cornwall, yes, for definitely he bowled well. But talking about Alec Athanaze, I think he's one of the real talent now emerging for the West Indies. They have to really nurture him. He could not get to his 50. He was out for 47 in the first innings. Second innings, he made 28, and he was the highest scorer in both the innings. So you could just imagine, what West Indies are going through. Unfortunately for West Indies, they are going through a very, very tough period. And now the focus will be on the second test match that is coming up. Uh, they have to really do something, really, really, because the Indian batting order is very, very strong. Virat Kohli getting his century as well. And we also had a debut for Ishan Kishan. Did not get a chance because Rohit Sharma declared. Other than that, Shubman Gill failed with the bat. Unfortunately, this was a good pitch to bat on, and Jaiswal totally capitalized on it. Rohit Sharma made a decent score as well. Well, dear fans, that is as far as that particular match is concerned. Now, let's look at the Sri Lanka versus Pakistan. The first day of the first test match today was played at the Gaul cricket ground. Uh, and it was Sri Lankans who won the toss, and they really chose to bat. Now, one thing that we saw in this Gaul test match on the first day was the it was the seam and swing of Shaheen Shah Afridi and Naseem Shah, which made life doubly difficult for the Sri Lankan openers. And then, with both of them operating in tandem and putting a lot of pressure, it was Shaheen Shah Afridi who struck, also picked up his 100th wicket in Test matches. Shaheen Shah Afridi. and Shahin Shah Afridi got dismissed the top three pretty quickly for just 53 runs. Nishan Madhushka was caught. Sarfraz Ahmed bowled Afridi for four. Then we had Karna Ratne falling for 29 of 43, six fours, and Kushal Medis out for 12 of 14 deliveries. And when Dinesh Chandimal fell as the fourth wicket, Naseem Shah picking up his wicket for one. There was real trouble brewing there for Sri Lanka. This pitch also has a very, very marginal turn and bounce on the first day itself. But it all came to Dhananjay De Silva and Angelo Matthews actually stemming the tide beautifully by adding 131 runs for the fifth wicket, with the contribution from Angelo Matthews with his experience 64. He played a nice knock, looked in a fine touch with 64, with nine boundaries in that. And at the other end, Dhananjay De Silva is a free stroking player. Really likes to play his strokes, and it was fun to watch because he's a very good stroke maker, according to me, and he did a good job in making 94 not out towards the close. So he was the one who was holding the fort for the Sri Lankans when the stumps were drawn for the first day at 242 for 6, 94 to him, 10 fours and 3 sixes included in that knock. And Sadira Samara who definitely is a good player, gave a good company when they were chiseling that partnership after the dismissal of Angelo Matthews, which further, like 57 runs were added, and Sadira Samaravikrama's contribution in that was 36 of 57, which included six boundaries, 242 for six. So definitely one can say the Sri Lankans have recovered from what happened, and honors could be even, one could call that. As far as the bowling was concerned, 3 for 63 for Shahin Shah Afridi, 1 for 66 Naseem Shah, 1 for 59 Abrar Ahmed the leggy, and 1 to Aga Salman of 1 of 18. Naman Ali was the only wicketless bowler, and that was the match score on the first day of the first test between Pakistan and Sri Lanka. And just going to take a and the meanwhile, I will go live to the Grand Prix Stadium in the United States, where Mukhtar Ahmed is the new batsman who has come in to join. Matthew Short is looking in extremely good touch here. He has 31 besides his name of 19 deliveries, which included 5 fours and 1 6. And Mukhtar Ahmed is keeping him company right now. 39 for 1 is the current score of 5.1 overs for the Washington Freedom team, choosing to bat after winning the toss against the Texas Super Kings. Now, just going to have a sneak peek at the Afghanistan versus Bangladesh. This was the final T20 match which was played. It was second T20, but let me see whether, yes, Bangladesh have definitely won the T20 series. And yes, it was a two-match series, though it has been wrapped up. Bangladesh have wrapped up the T20 series 2-0, and Afghanistan 116 for 7 was never going to be a challenging score on this particular pitch. Definitely, Afghanistan only have themselves to blame for not putting a big score on the board, the highest scorer being Azmatullah Omarzai, 26 of 21. So he once again is showing that Azmatullah Omarzai is someone who has the ability to hit the ball hard and long, and he showed it today at himself, 25-20. When the other day he really did great, but today it was sort of a friendly effort, 25-21, 2 fours and 1 6, and Kareem Jannat making 20, 15, 1 4, 1 6, 22 from Ibrahim Zadran. Other than that, there was not much to really talk about. 116 for 7, and it was 3 wickets for Taskin Ahmed and 2 wickets apiece to Mustafizur and Shakib Al Hassan, who actually was named the player of the match and the player of the series in this T20 tournament. Bangladesh, they got to the 6-wicket victory. They got a good start from Litan Das and Afif Hussain, who gained 67 runs of 9.1 overs, with 35 to Litan Das of 36 with 6 fours, and Afif Hussain not hitting a boundary but hitting 2 sixes in his knock of 24 of 20. And Shanto was dismissed cheaply for 4. And Tawhid Rudai, who is sort of a talented bloke in this Bangladesh team, contributed 19 of 17, 1-4, 1-6. But in the end, Shakib Al Hassan not out 18, and Shamim Hussein taking them home in the 16.1 overs. Bowling, Fazali Faruqi is normally in the power plays. He normally gets the breakthrough for the team, but today it was not to be. It was not Fazal Faruqi's day today, unfortunately. 2 wickets for 28 from Mujibur Rahman. We had Wafadar Mahmoud actually making his debut, but he had a very unforgettable debut in T20s as he got thrashed for 30 runs of 2.1 overs. Litan Das climbing onto him with that 3 consecutive boundaries. Azmatul Omarzai 2 for 17. So that's the match. In the end, I think there is a six that has been hit. Let's go and see what happened. Yes, Mukhtar Ahmed has no, he has hit a boundary. Mukhtar Ahmed has hit a boundary of the bowling of Kwadzi as the score gallops to 45 for 1 now after 5.3 overs. That's the match update coming in from the Grand Prix round between Washington Freedom and Texas Super Kings. Well, dear fans and subscribers, that really sums up this cricket show for today. And look forward to chatting with you all next Saturday on the cricket show. Till such time that happens, it's goodbye from here. Thank you.